different species in the sense that it grew up differently. It came at the same time as the clan mothers. Basically, they're like twins who were raised in totally different environments, and not for a week or two, but for a million years or so. And they came back together in Africa. If you want to see the allegory of that, you watch the movie called Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Nobody would stop for a minute. How can these be twins?
The twins, they were twins, but the one that was big got all the good parts of it. The other one got like the leftovers.
That's what the Neanderthaler problem is. The Neanderthaler says, look, this is a partnership. I have donated everything I have, my intelligence, and have helped you to make your life easier because you used to be a clan mother, a hermaphrodite, and you could only clone copies of yourself. I taught you how we could come about by changing some of your genetic material, end up with two genders, so that half of you could be the clan mothers and the other half could be task-oriented males and go about doing the tasks that support you. Now you have an easy life with all these people supporting you, and you ignore me, the guy who made it all happen. You now have a slave. But you now ignore me. So Neanderthaler began to say, if I can't be appreciated for what I did, I'm going to take power away from you. And the clan mother would say, you can't take the power away from me. You can't even get around. The Neanderthaler said, let me think about that. Think about it. Eventually, what he came up with, I'm going to piggyback inside of the neck. And he inserted his DNA as the between brain, so that the person who would be born, whether male or female, could no longer access the information in the gray matter in the spine without it going through him on the way to the brain. We were always more intuitive because the connection between the brain and the spine is needed. The brain can only reason, whereas the library of past events resides in the spine. So whenever a decision had to be made by a person, that person would reason things out, and then they would act of their spine to send up confirmation that they were correct, or confirmation that they needed to do more work on this because there was something they didn't quite understand. And that's done in that area called the interbrain, where the bottom part is called the medulla, and then it has a thing called the pons, which is a bridge. And at the other end of the bridge, there are like two divisions, and it's like pulling reins to make the horse turn one way or turn the other way. If they pull on one side, the feelings that are created by the chemistry that come out of the endocrine gland are either positive or negative. And if it's positive, you say, I've reasoned this out, and I'm sure I have it right, and I really feel good about it, and I'm going to go about doing it. But if you reason something out, and you ask your intuition, and it pulls on the other side, you feel, there's something missing. I'm not really sure about this. So in comes the Neanderthaler, and he puts his plan on things in that area, and he says, okay, if what you're doing is following my will as a Neanderthaler, I will pull on the reins that make you feel good. But if you're trying to do something that makes you happy and is against what I want, I'll pull on the reins on the other side, and you'll feel depressed, and you'll want to go to bed, then you'll get sick, and you'll be lame. And I'll do everything I can inside of you to stop you from doing things that I don't agree with. A Trinity. The definition of God the Son, the Holy Ghost is basically that. You have the original, God the Father, that's the spine, and you have the new one, God the Son, that's the brain, and you have the holy G-host, gang that wants to stick itself in the middle and change the direction.